Hello everyone.
So the right front wheel bearing on this car went bad again. It's been just over a year since I installed a new wheel bearing hub assembly. And now this one is making noise and it's got all kinds of free play in it. The wheel chucks back and forth. You can see it and hear it. So that was a very popular name brand, trusted brand of bearing that I installed. It only had a 12-month warranty. And of course, just after 12 months is up, the bearing went bad. So I found these Detroit axle bearings on Amazon. They cost half as much as the T bearing, and they have a 10-year warranty, so I'm going to give it a shot. The worst that can happen is it goes bad before 10 years and I get another one, I guess. All I lose is some labor, but I get a good video out of it. So I'm going to be having a helper here and I'm going to teach him how to replace the bearings. So this is going to be a teaching video, so if that interests you, stick around. Okay, so go ahead and remove that little hubcap in the middle there. Use the putty knife first to try to get in there. It takes a very thin knife to get in there and pry it out. Once it's pried out enough, you can get the screwdriver in there. Or you can pry it out all the way like that.
Okay.
Okay, now use that breaker bar behind you. What size is the socket?
It's 32 millimeter.
32 millimeter socket. 1.25 inches also works. Put that on there. Make sure it's on there real good.
Yep. I'd say that's broken.
It's broken?
No, I mean, started.
It's loosened already?
Yes.
Well, that's bad. That means it was loose to begin with. That might have been the problem. It came loose.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Well, we have to replace this bearing, so go ahead and remove that axle nut. And we should check the bearing on the other side and make sure it's still tight. Actually, we'll check all of them on this car. Was that ever staked in?
I don't know.
Oh, let me see that nut. No, it looks like we failed to stake that. After we torque this nut back in, after we replace the bearing, I'll show you how to stake it. You have to ding that into the keyway in the shaft so it doesn't work its way loose. You can see this is still new. We're going to reuse it. Okay, we're going to use this new jack, but we're still going to use my favorite location for jacking this. Can you put this on the other side? So the jack needs to be centered in the middle of the car, between the two frame rails. And is that center or a little too far?
Too close to this way.
Can we lift this up on there? Oh wait, we might have to take the lid off. Alright. And that doesn't fit. Huh. Alright. So that jacking method isn't going to work on this. This is higher than the floor jack to start with. Alright. We're going to use my second favorite method. And I'm going to use this new jack to lift it up under the center of the frame rail here. That's too far back. That should do it.
The air jack is a pleasure to use compared to the hydraulic jack. It makes the job a lot easier for an old-timer and anyone else. It lets it down nice and easy.
Okay, now grab that wheel and chuck it. Yeah, it's obvious that bearing's shot. And here's another perspective on that. I don't know how much you can see that play in there. This rotor's moving in and out. I'd say more than a 1/16 of an inch. Less than an eighth.
The next thing we did was to turn the steering wheel far to the left to gain better access to the back of the caliper.
So we're going to try a 15mm socket on that. Is that right?
I can't really get it on straight. This thing's in the way.
Oh, that one's in the way.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll have to use an open end wrench or box end wrench.
I think it's a little bigger than 50.
So the caliper bracket bolts are 17mm. I'm going to try to get those loose and removed. It's highly unlikely that you can do that by hand until you loosen it with the hammer. So you can try that or move the wrench a little bit, turn it a little bit, yeah, that way. If you can get it straight up and down, that would be good. Can it go straight up and down?
No.
Back a little the other way? Yeah, right there. Yeah, that's better.
That's definitely not. Alright.
Hold the wrench with your hand and hit the top with the hammer. Yeah. You're going to have to hold that wrench against the bolt head.
I am.
No, I mean this way.
Okay.
You're just tapping it. What you need to do is hit it.
Well, I can't really.
I know, you need to be left-handed.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna hit my arm if I go back any
All right,
further.
so here, sometimes you kind of need to go over the top of it. Like this. See?
Okay.
Now you can loosen it. I broke it loose, so you should be able to loosen it more by hand or hit it with the hammer a couple more times. Go over top of it like I did.
Well, this is.
Turn your body towards the camera. Now toward the camera, not away from it.
I am, okay.
Get your body closer to the camera. There you go.
It's the opposite.
There you go. Over it. Yep. Is it loose?
Yeah.
All right, now go to the bottom one. Before you take that all the way out, try to break the bottom one loose.
Yeah, I heard you.
Hold the middle of that wrench in your left hand. That's it, and pull on it, and then hit it.
Well, this is.
Wrap your fist around it. That's it.
This is. Then now I'm going to be hitting my fingers in between here and the wrench.
Then hold
Crushing.
lower.
You said the middle.
All right.
Now I'm gonna.
The middle part.
I'm gonna bash my.
Try not to hit your hand. You have to develop your aim by practicing. That's it. Now you can take that one all the way out. Is there enough room in there to get this on it, and then you can ratchet it out?
Let's see. This way.
There. Oops. I'll throw all our nuts and bolts in here. All the way out?
Yeah. Can I have a rag?
Okay, hold on. So you're going to use that to just compress it a little bit along the slide pin. That's it. Just squeeze it a bit. All right, now the bottom one. Just a little at a time. And the top again. Okay, now the bottom again. And then you can see if it'll rock off of there.
Yep.
Not quite.
Nope.
Okay, squeeze again. Is it looser?
Yes.
It looks like it'll come off now.
Trying to get it off. There we go.
Okay, good. Now hang it from that. So we hung the caliper from a bungee that's hanging from the spring up there. You don't want to hang the weight of the caliper on the brake hose. So now you can just go ahead. It looks like that rotor will come right off. Pull it right off. And slide it out of your way over there on the floor. Put the outer side down. That's it. Grab a hold of that hub. I bet you can feel it chuck. No, the hub. Yeah.
I don't know what.
That's the hub.
Okay.
Yep. It moves in and out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And up and down a little. Just kind of rocks around.
Yep.
Yeah. That's shot, a bearing shot. So now we need to get that, remove that bearing hub, the whole assembly.
Okay.
And there's 4 bolts. 1, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, and we need to remove those. And they're removed from the back. They're accessed from the back. Try to see if you can get a 14 on that.
Yeah, this is in the way.
So push in on that axle. See how it moves? It gives you a little space.
Still in the way.
Can you push the axle more?
Well,
Oh, okay.
no. That's as push as it
Is
gets.
that 14 now?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get a chrome. We'll get a chrome socket and see if. Try that one.
Yeah. Seems like it's on there.
It's on there.
Not
That's
straight, but yeah.
That's 14 millimeter.
Okay. Yeah, I won't budge. Yeah, I won't budge.
Okay. We're going to see if we can get an impact wrench on there. To loosen. Came right out. Nice. Make sure that's all the way on the bolt head, because you don't want to round it off. That would be, it doesn't look like it's straight with the bolt. There, that was hard.
If he had positioned himself like this on the previous bolt, he would have been able to loosen it without an impact wrench. I didn't push it. I have to pick my battles.
There we go.
You getting it?
Yeah.
Good. You think a ratchet can get on there now?
Sure. Try.
Oh, very good. Okay, now we need to turn the wheel all the way to the right to be able to access those front bolts. Easier, huh?
Yep.
Nice.
Easier when I have a better angle.
Yep.
Wow.
It seems like half the time you're working in a place that you need to be left-handed
Yep.
for some reason.
What are these left-handed people complaining about? Everything's built for them.
Or half of everything. That's the third one. Did I get it?
Yep.
Nice. So much easier.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try this trick I learned on the internet. Put the rotor back on backwards. Put 3 lug nuts on it. Make sure they're threaded on there pretty good. Nice and straight. Not all the way. We'll see if this works. I've never tried it before. We want to get that hub out of there. There's a lot of videos about all the problems of pulling these hubs off. This one should be fairly easy since it was only on there for a year and I put a lot of never sees on it before it went in.
Okay.
Okay, now push the hub all the way away from you.
Meaning?
Away from you. Toward the car. Push it. No, don't. I'm sorry, the rotor.
Okay.
Alright, and then pull back quickly. Look at that. That hub popped right out.
Yes.
Nice. Thanks. Put the backer plate back up there. Put a couple bolts in just to hold it. No, the bolts. There's only one bolt there. You need at least 2 just to keep it from flopping. Goes in from the back. And you can move that, yeah. Okay, good.
Okay.
Just see if it'll fit in there okay. The bolts will have to be pushed back. The bolt doesn't have to be all the way back. It can stick out like 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah,
But
well, this one doesn't go back. That's why it's still there.
okay.
So,
Try to get that to line up and go in the hole there.
well, this is a lot lower.
Well, you have to lift it. The axle drops because the hub is what holds it. So you have to lift it and line it up. There you go. Will it go straight in? It's not straight right now.
Well, because there's a bolt.
Alright, move the bolt.
I can't. That's why it's still there. Because it's.
Alright, you can move the bolt because the axle moves now. Lift up on the axle. Reach around back and lift up on the axle. Alright. Now see if the hub will fit in there. Fit right in, no problem, huh?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Pull it back out.
Should be using different gloves.
Are those gloves shot?
Yeah.
Don't set the bearing down on the dirt like that.
Where?
See, the bottom part is what.
Where do I put it then?
See, that's the bearing and the seal. Look at all the dirt you got
I
on it.
know. Where do I put it then?
Well, you can set it down on this on the lugs like that, but I'm going to wipe it off now.
All right. I'm gonna get some gloves.
Something wrong with those gloves?
Oh, it never sees. I'm getting it everywhere.
Well, you're about to put a lot of never sees on here,
Okay.
so. All right, here, don't set it down, or you can set it down that way. I'll go ahead and paint that hole, the flange part, which is where the bolts go through. Just paint that whole flange, right there, yep, right there. Paint the whole thing with never sees. That whole flat area around there.
Oh, this
The whole, yep,
whole thing.
yep,
Okay.
all that.
Okay. And now.
Now the round part around this side here.
Okay.
The side that hits inside the hole there, yep.
Okay.
All right, pull that dust shield down again and take that dirty rag we had, that orange one. See all the crud in there? Just try to wipe a lot of that out.
Do you see the problem here? I didn't notice because I was watching the camera and trying to explain what to do and watching the work taking place. Too many things going on at the same time. But that new bearing hub and the open container of never sees are in the fallout zone. We really needed to prevent the rusty dust being wiped out of the steering knuckle from falling onto the bearing hub and into the open never sees bottle. We should have moved those things or just covered them with a rag.
And yeah, you will want these rubber gloves on while you're working with never sees, because it makes a mess. And you really don't want to get it on your skin.
Okay.
All right, so you can rub some never sees in there in the dirty areas. Did you hit the top part in case there's some rust specks or something on it? Okay. Oh, I see more dirt down here that's loose.
It's staying there.
Okay. All right, paint all that with never sees. The only reason we were able to get that hub out so easily is because it was coated with never sees before we installed the bearing. Now, hit that spline on there, on the axle with never sees. Just try to brush it on there. Nice healthy dose. You know, don't leave big gobs of it, but don't be cheap either. All the way around. Okay, now grab that red rag and clean these threads off. Just grab the threads and twist it around. Yep. Looks good. Okay. Okay, so now we're to the point where we're going to be putting that back in. So you need to put the dustpan back on there, the backer pan. You need all 4 bolts in there. And the bolts still have some never sees on them. Maybe once you get them in place, we'll add more never sees. Now, would you say that the front two bolts were easiest to work with, or the right two or the left two?
Right too.
All right, so we'll turn the axle now so this is tilted out this way. Because when you put that bearing hub on there, you need to access those bolts to turn them, to get them started in the holes.
Mm.
So get yourself whichever socket and extension you're going to use to screw that in by hand. Is it the one that's on the impact?
Yeah, one over there. Could you?
I would say use the 6-inch extension that's on the impact first.
Okay.
You can get your hand on there more.
Okay.
Get everything lined up as good as you can, and then
There we go.
start screwing that bolt into it. It looks like it's not squarely aligned with the knuckle there, so it's not going straight in yet. There, that's pretty good. Now maybe you can get that bolt started. It's got to be lined up perfectly.
Back it out a little. I can't see that.
And if you need a little help, you can use the ratchet. But
I don't know why it's not lining up.
well, that works too. Put the ratchet on it so you can turn it.
There we go.
Got it started?
Yeah.
Good.
It's in.
So just get it in most of the way, or almost all the way, and then try to get the others.
Okay. Okay. Should we turn the wheel or?
I'll turn the wheel if you say so.
Let's see if I can get in there. Yeah, no, I can't.
Okay. Push on that hub. Push it in there. No, the hub. Yeah, you want to get that in so it's straight. Yeah, now you can tighten.
Okay. Now, get in there. Okay. There.
Got it? Otherwise, take this and just tap it with the hammer until that thing's all the way in.
It's good.
You got it started?
Yeah.
That's restarted. You're on a roll. Go for the bottom one now.
It's not tight yet.
Yeah, but the hub is getting crooked.
Okay.
Are they both tight there?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to turn the axle to the right again and tighten those by hand or by ratchet. We'll get those wrench tight and then we'll torque them.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, leave that socket and extension in there. Tighten that up. The ratchet or the torque wrench is set for 48 foot-pounds. Click it again, just to make sure. Okay. Pull that axle all the way out so the axle's all the way up. Reach around behind it, yeah. There you go. And then we can put that nut on it.
Okay.
Here, you can snug it with this, but don't try to tighten it. Just snug it down.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. We have to have the tire on the car and be on the ground before we can torque that.
Okay.
Because that takes 162 foot-pounds.
Okay.
You know what, now you can change your gloves because you just got never sees on the brakes. So I'm going to put some washers on here. And then you can just start a lug nut on there. And it'll hold it flat. It'll hold the rotor in alignment, so it'll make it easier to put the caliper back on.
Can you just squeeze these again?
No, you should be able to just push it on there. It's getting there.
Doesn't seem like it's getting anywhere.
Well, you're squeezing in on the brake shoes for one thing with your thumb. That doesn't help. Don't hold the brake shoes. Okay, keep going. You're almost there.
There.
Yeah, it's not quite there, but it's close.
There.
Okay, now we get that top screw started and stop bolt. You might have pushed it on too far.
Okay.
Pull this back out a little and try to line it up.
Well, I can't really. Okay.
You can't see the bolt hole alignment, so don't focus like this on trying to see it. You'll need to move the caliper bracket around while gently pushing the bolt in until you feel it hit the hole.
Look at this right here. Look at it from the front here. See how that's not lined up with the, this radius isn't lined up with this radius?
I just pulled it back.
So try to line it up with that radius. And then see if you can get the, not too far in now. If you go too far in, you're going to pass the hole.
Okay, currently I'm nowhere near it, so I'm going to... On that.
Wipe your gloves off. You're getting overseas on the rotor again. Make sure these are snug. If you're not.
Snugging the rotor flat onto the face of the hub helps align the caliper position. That's why I had them put some lug nuts on, but they weren't snugged enough.
Started?
No. I don't understand. I had it lined up.
I was proud of him. He never gave up. He was determined to get it. But after more than 12 minutes, I had to move things along with a lesson on technique.
I understand.
You're not going to get it by looking. You have to feel for the bolt hole.
Okay. I'll show you the technique. I'm going to get it started. All right. See that? Right there, I found the hole right there. All I did was go like this. Where's that wrench? Didn't you have a
Ratchet one?
whatever one it was? It was, oh, the 17. Okay, it started.
Okay.
And it's not difficult. All I did was put that bolt in. You can feel it. Hold it between your index and your thumb there.
Nice.
And then grab the bottom of this and just move it up and down. I felt it go right in right there.
Okay.
And then
Got it.
It's in.
Got it.
You had it, I mean, this is in the right position. You had it in the right position.
Yeah.
You just need to lift up on that and rotate it a little so it hits the hole. This
Got
lines
it.
up.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay, now it's his turn. Again.
You feel it?
Mhm.
You can wiggle it up and down a little if it makes it easier to turn it.
Where's the?
Make sure it's set to turn the right direction. Is that one starting?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I'll straighten it out and then you're going to grab that box wrench and tighten it.
Okay.
Tighten both of those.
Okay.
So that was a mistake. He could have gained more leverage if I'd left the wheel turned all the way to the left.
Hit it with the hammer.
That would have allowed him to move to his left and pull hard on the wrench. His hammering technique is already improving.
here?
Yep.
We gave all those new threaded lugs a good coating of Never Seas.
Okay, we're gonna let the car down now. So first, yep, you have to hook the air up to that. Make sure it's still in the right position. Is it underneath that frame rail?
Yeah.
Okay. No, you're not doing anything with the handle.
I know, I'm just making sure it's in the right position.
Okay.
Set.
All right, and then the red valve is closed, you see it?
Yep.
And the green valve is closed. Now slowly open the green valve and watch where that thing's going to hit. Make sure it hits dead center on the frame. That's good?
Yep.
And then you can open that up a little more.
The jack didn't raise at first because the pressure release valve was open.
So is the wheel all the way down on the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the way. So you can tighten that axle nut up. That's 162 foot-pounds. It's not going to be simple. There you go. Click it again. Okay, good.
You might be wondering why we're removing the wheel again. The wheel has to be on the ground to torque the axle nut. Then it needs to be removed so we can access the axle nut.
You see right here where there's like a keyway in the end of the shaft? You see it?
Yes.
Okay. This ring on the axle nut needs to get locked into there, into that slot. You do it like this.
You can use a cold steel chisel to do this, or a solid steel screwdriver like this one.
Camera's a little bit in the way. Just want to make sure that's locked in, because I think the reason our bearing went bad in the first place is because that nut became loose and it gradually worked its way out, and then the bearing was able to gradually separate. It's a good possibility that's what happened. So it's important to lock that in there. You see it?
Yes.
And it could quickly become very dangerous.
That's what it looks like. That's after torquing it to 162 foot-pounds. now you can torque the lug nuts.
Is this set to?
It's set to, what is it set to?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember how to pull it out.
No, just read it. I already set it. What's it set to? Oh, yank it. That's it. Now what's it set to? So this is my old KD Tools micrometer adjustable torque wrench. And to adjust this style of a torque wrench, you slide the handle down like that. And that exposes the adjustment scale here, 30 to 250 in increments of 10 pounds, 10 foot-pounds. So in order to adjust this, you twist the handle, it's at 30, and I'm going to go to 80, 88. So there's one turn is 10 pounds, so you crank it all the way up to 80. So 8 turns, 8 full turns, that's 70. That's 80. I'm reading the 0 mark here on the handle. And then there's a scale around the handle here, so I'm at 80, and then there's increments on the handle, this rotating part of the handle. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right there. So 88 foot-pounds. And I know the GoPro doesn't focus that well. Hopefully you can see that. Lock it back in, and it's ready to use at 88 foot-pounds.
10.5.
No, that's metric. Flip it over.
80
80 what?
foot-pounds.
What's right lined up with the center line there?
Oh, 80. Okay.
It's 88.
Gotcha.
Okay. The spec is 88.5. There's no 0.5, so we could do 88 or 89. Might as well just do 88, I guess. I'll go around and do them all again. Okay, put that little hubcap on. It's on the hood. I'll take the wrench.
Treat your torque wrench with the care you'd treat a micrometer. It's a form of precision measuring equipment. Never place it on the floor. Be gentle with it. Don't toss it around. Keep it clean, dry, and oil-free. Unwind it to its lowest setting before storing it in a clean, dry place.
Now after you're done using it, pull that down. Look at your scale here and twist that all the way back. Rotate the handle all the way back until you're reading, your setting is 30 foot-pounds. That's the lowest setting on this wrench. And you want to store them at their lowest setting because cranking that up increases some spring pressure in there, and you want to relieve that pressure for storage. Well, our wheel bearings are as smooth and quiet as can be. And I'm not getting that strange noise. That noise was around 45 to 50 plus miles an hour. And then it went away over 55. Which is funny considering we had a very loose bearing. put it into neutral and coast just so we can listen. Everything sounds great. You know what? We had that clunking sound. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. So let's try this.
I was goosing the engine at low speed here.
Not clunking.
That's how we got it to clunk before.
Try a lower gear. Well, that took care of that. That's what was causing it.
We had a relatively loud metal on metal clunking sound when we did that before the new wheel bearing was installed.
How about that?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
It makes sense that the loose axle nut would allow the axle stub splines to clunk like that. Or it could have been the loose bearing itself clunking, but I think it was the axle splines being too loose.
That sounded like it was coming from under the middle, kind of under the passenger seat here. But it was coming from the front wheel bearing. How about that? The thought crossed my mind that maybe one of those axle nuts came loose, and that's what we were hearing. Little did I know. I should have checked them.
Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to like and subscribe.